Yo, what is up guys, Yoshi Plays here. Welcome back to another reaction video. Today we have a long one, a doozy. 1 hour, 2 minutes, 52 seconds. Yeah. Strange sightings on the Alpha Minecraft channel. Thank you to Retro Gaming Now for making this video, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be very good, so let's get into it.
I've stumbled across a bizarre channel on YouTube called Mark101. It appears to be an alpha Minecraft channel, but, well, you'll see soon enough. The first video is entitled Unused Zero. It shows gameplay footage from the early days of Minecraft, specifically Alpha 1.0.7. The video follows the initial stages of a Minecraft world. You watch as a character with a dark skin punches sheep and picks up wool. They proceed to construct a crafting table, using it to craft a set of wooden tools. They chop some wood before climbing up the side of a mountain where they begin to construct a house. About 5.5 minutes into the video, they suddenly stop, pausing and unpausing the game several times. They stare out into the distance for a few seconds. Suddenly, a strange loud noise is heard as the render distance drops. The player goes haywire for a few moments before leaving the game. When we examine the description, we find that the player recording is apparently as confused as we are. "I'm getting freaked out. I'll show you more footage. What is that sound? I don't know, maybe a new cave sound. I think if I reinstall Minecraft, it will stop acting weird." Then there's a link to another video entitled Instructed. This is a screen recording. We see someone named Marcus logging onto their computer. They open up a web page with the title, "Please report any anomalies you see in Minecraft here." The site gives more detail about these anomalies. They are not usually Minecraft-esque at all, and the players are instructed not to approach them under any circumstances. The website also shows an example of an anomaly, but the image is very dark. We can adjust the colors to brighten the picture, but we still just can't quite see it. Below, there's the option to submit a video with a description of an anomaly. The user Marcus opens up a video called myanomaly.mp4 and begins to play it. It begins with a title, "They used my account again," followed by, "I found this recording randomly appear while I was making a new video." Marcus messes with the window size several times, making this video difficult for us to watch. Despite this, we can just make out footage of somebody breaking doors in a Minecraft cave. Marcus skips ahead to a segment with the player running up a staircase out of the mine. They turn around and Marcus pauses the video. He uses the mouse pointer to point at something down at the bottom of the stairs. This must be another anomaly, but what is it? If we look closely, we can just barely make out something hidden deep within the image. But is it just a trick of the light? A compression artifact? What exactly have we stumbled across here?
Point 1, the void.
The date on the computer screen tells us that Instructed takes place a month after Unused Zero. To see how we got to this point, we're going to take a step back in time and examine the other videos on the channel. There's a video called moonglitch.avi. This takes place in the same world. Marcus has made some progress since the first video, with a complete starter house as well as stone tools. He spends most of the video cooking pork chops and storing them in a chest. Near the end, Marcus exits the house into the night. He attempts to change his render distance, but it appears to be stuck at tiny. Then another strange noise. Marcus looks up at the moon to see that it has a bizarre red dot on it. The video ends after that. Another glitch, one that again defies
Creepy
explanation.
AF. I
It
do
is
not
here
like
that
that.
the uploaded videos appear to be slightly out of order. To make things easier, I'll present things in what I believe to be chronological order, not necessarily the order of upload. The following video is entitled I'm Back. The state of the chests tell us that this video takes place soon after Moonglitch. Marcus takes some materials and crafts an iron sword, presumably to deal with the zombies that we hear in the background. Marcus exits the house and kills one of them. After changing the difficulty to peaceful, he descends the stairs out of his house. We once again hear a strange noise. It amplifies in volume before a couple-second-long gap in the footage. The video ends with the noise fading out as Marcus enters the mines. Apparently, Marcus's mining trip was successful. The next video is called Diamond Overload. It opens with a One True Media logo, which was a service that helped users create and edit videos. Marcus has used it to create this video, and he will continue to use it in future videos with titles. The description tells us that Marcus found a cave with tons of diamonds. To celebrate, Marcus has uploaded a video dancing in diamond gear to a song called Tarantula by Pendulum. And that's just about it, a dose of 2010 Minecraft fun. But this fun wouldn't last long. The next video is called Observations. Once again, we find ourselves in Marcus's world during the nighttime. Marcus stares out the window and briefly gets a glimpse of the moon. It is still dark. Apparently unsure of what to do, he checks periodically, seemingly afraid of looking at it. Finally, daytime approaches and the moon sets on the horizon. Yet there's another strange noise, causing Marcus to exit the world. It appears as though these oddities have begun to affect Marcus. The description contains a rambling blend of questions and answers. Where did it go? I don't know. Have any ideas where it went? No. Do you know what it even is? It's very angry. We already know that, because that's all I know about this thing. Why do you think it's on the moon? Because moon cycle goes into void after sun. What do you mean by that? You'll see. It's strange. Is Marcus talking to himself, or is there somebody else out there? The next video is called Unused 1. We know that it must take place sometime after July 23rd, 2010, as the version is Alpha 1.0.11. This was the 6th Secret Friday update, which included a wide range of new things, from slimes to bricks to books. The description confirms this by telling us that this file was last modified on August 2nd, a little over a week after the update. The video opens with the rudimentary title, "Guys, I'm really scared, something weird happened. Let's watch what happens next."
What is this? Can you make this? God. No. No, 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 no.
This video is easily the most bizarre one we've seen so far.
God,
Marcus is
I know.
understandably
Oh my
spooked.
God.
In the description, he says that he believes it's just a hacker trying to scare him. Once again, the moon is dark, a trend that we've seen in the past several videos. Marcus walks around and stumbles across a large structure near his house. There are a couple of different sounds. There's a high-pitched sound as Marcus approaches the structure, and a lower-pitched, glitchy, rumbling sound as the screen goes dark. We can use a special tool called a spectrogram to analyze these sounds. A spectrogram gives us a visual representation of the frequencies in sound. Higher up on the chart represents higher frequencies, or a higher pitch. Lower on the chart corresponds to lower frequencies and pitches. The brightness represents the volume of the associated frequency. Moving left and right on the chart moves forward and backwards in time. The first high-pitched noise has a distinct look on the spectrogram. There appear to be bursts of short and long lengths. As it turns out, this is Morse code. By converting pulses to dots and dashes, we can read out a message, denied. We can look at the rest of the glitchy sounds in the spectrogram, but nothing jumps out to us. Regardless, this is a clear escalation in the level of strangeness that Marcus has been experiencing in his world. It's time for an investigation. Marcus joins the world and looks into one of his chests. That's an interesting design. It appears to be in the shape of a star. Why would Marcus store his diamonds and stone slabs in such an atypical configuration? Marcus peeks out of the house to discover that the moon is still weird. He returns to cooking pork chops. About 3 minutes into the video, the pause screen pops up several times, perhaps a glitch of some kind. Marcus once again descends into the mines, and we see that he has added a wall on the right side. At the bottom, Marcus notices a corridor in the wall and walks in to examine it. He stumbles across a bizarre reddish obsidian block at the bedrock layer. Marcus pulls out his diamond pickaxe and mines it. It breaks and he falls through. The video's second world continues immediately afterward and shows Marcus falling into the void. He rapidly takes damage and dies. When Marcus returns to the menu, we notice that the Minecraft logo is different. Upon joining the world, we see that the textures are totally messed up, red and glitchy. Bizarre sounds are heard. Marcus looks at the moon, which now has tentacles flowing from it.
I do not like that. I do not like that. No. No.
At this point, Marcus's world has been totally turned upside down. His investigation continues in a video entitled The Investigation Part 1. In the beginning, Marcus explains what he believes is happening in a few slides. Something is in the abyss. It took the moon. I can't do anything. I can only prioritize the Minecraft window. It's hard for me to even type because it keeps sending me to Minecraft. Marcus then posts a dark image claiming that he doesn't remember making it. Adjusting the colors shows what may be a figure in the distance. Again, it's just not conclusive. However, there's a second image which Marcus claims is a mother giving birth to her children. It's a shot down a corridor in a cave.
What the
After color adjustments, we can see that there's clearly something
My
there,
eyes.
but we can't quite tell what. It's a figure of some type, but it doesn't quite appear to have the shape of a player. The head is vaguely triangular and it has a skinny body. Finally, Marcus shows us some footage from his investigation. It's a sequence of 5 different scenes. The first is a brief excerpt from the previous video, the box outside of the house. The second is a daytime shot that shows the darkened sun. The third shows Marcus crafting his diamond tools. The fourth is longer and has Marcus building walls on his staircase to the mines. As night approaches, Marcus increases his speed before descending once more. The central room contains a large blob of that same reddish obsidian material that Marcus mined when he fell into the void. The final sequence of footage shows Marcus ascending the stairs before returning back down and failing to place a slab for several seconds. When he gets to the bottom, he notices that the room is different. Tunnels have appeared in the walls. These tunnels look familiar. The second picture of an anomaly was taken here. Marcus's investigation continues in part 2. He says that those things have been creeping in from the underworld. As Marcus walks around, the frame rate begins to drop. Then suddenly, Marcus gets his first clear footage of an anomaly. Out in the distance, we see a darkened figure
What the
with spindly
is
limbs.
that?
Marcus understandably freaks out. If we look at this figure in more detail, we can see that it could plausibly be the shadowy figure in the mines from earlier. The basic shape is the same. Marcus is not wrong when he says that that's not from Minecraft. Then Marcus tells us another interesting development. Apparently, some guy with a star for his name joins his game sometimes. Marcus, follow, look, Marcus. Earlier on in the video, Marcus showed us a rudimentary Microsoft Paint drawing describing what he thinks is occurring. Let's examine this for a minute. The top green line appears to represent the Minecraft world. The boxes probably show the bedrock structure that has appeared. Below it, we see a depiction of the moon. Marcus draws a connection between the thing and the moon. Then there's a picture of a star saying Marcus. This is probably the star player who's been joining his world sometimes. Beside him are several blue clouds with the text, "Not from Minecraft." It appears as though Marcus believes that his game has been infiltrated by beings from another place. There have been a multitude of anomalous events, from the moon to the star player to the reddish textures to the black void beings. A mysterious player has been communicating with him. But despite all of this, Marcus's explanation seems a little over the top. The idea of entities from outside of the game somehow entering it is absurd, right? For some reason, there is no investigation part 3, but there is a part 4. As soon as we start watching it, we recognize it as the My Anomaly video from Instructed. Now we have it in higher quality and we can analyze it in more detail. It opens with the same declaration that this was a recording found on his device. We see that the star player has said Marcus multiple times in chat, and since we know that Marcus didn't record the video, it's plausible to guess that we are currently seeing the actions of Star. The video takes place in the bottom mine room with the red obsidian. There are several half-door slabs surrounding the area, and we watch Star break them. They dump their items in order to fill their inventory with iron doors. Then they place these doors on the tunnels that appeared earlier. Finally, they head towards a lonely door with a pressure plate on the opposite side. It's there that the footage cuts. Immediately after discovering the video on his computer, Marcus logs onto his game and checks his world. Sure enough, his inventory has doors. It does appear as though Star used his account. Marcus descends into the mine to see the changes for himself and recover things from his inventory. There's a brief moment where the footage cuts. When it comes back, we see the particles of a dead mob as well as Marcus swinging his sword. It turns out that if we go to the frame just before the blackout, we can make out some strange spindly tentacles on the right side. After fighting a few slimes, Marcus approaches the singular door with the pressure plate. He contemplates for several moments and then enters. There are several more doors behind it, and the screen quickly darkens. Suddenly, a loud noise and a dramatic frame rate. Marcus flees the corridor. And then we see Marcus climb the stairs, and as we remember from Instructed, we know that Marcus is about to experience another anomaly. As Marcus turns around, we can see it, a darkened figure chasing him from the depths. Marcus quickly enters his house and places blocks to seal up the entrance. But it's not enough. A few seconds later, we can see that these blocks are being broken. Then the footage cuts. only to be replaced by a title showing a bunch of stars. This is it. This is the anomaly that caused Marcus to make a submission on the website. But there's a detail that we mustn't overlook. How could Marcus even know about this website? Well, consider that the video title is instructed. It implies that Marcus isn't doing this of his own volition. Someone has instructed him to submit it. But who? The only reasonable character would be Star. We know that they have been communicating with Marcus, so it seems plausible that they're the ones who sent him to the website. If we look at the screen recording video in more detail, we can find a few frames that tell us what the website is: minecraftanomalies.neocities.org. After all these years, the site is still up. When we look at it, something jumps out to us: a list of REIJ ANUM codes. While they were partially visible and instructed, on the site we can see the entire list. It's a sequence of numbers separated by line breaks. The numbers themselves are easy to decode. By using the simple cipher of 1 equals A, 2 equals B, all the way up to 26 equals Z, we can rewrite the codes in plaintext. Yet this does little to quell the mystery. We are left with words that appear to have little relation to one another, from Safari to infrastructure to colorblind. Unfortunately, this appears to be a dead end. However, the website is not the only thing to find in the video of Marcus submitting his anomaly. About a minute in, there's a link that appears, and it connects to a Google Drive file called marksworld.rar. And all of a sudden, we have the ability to take a look at Mark's save file for ourselves. But before we do that, we should snoop around the archive to see if there's anything interesting hidden within. In the World 4 folder, we discover a file called marcus.txt. Hello. It appears you have been snooping around in Marcus's MC-jar file. You want answers? They lie deeper than that. The void isn't the only thing here. The void is the most tame of all things. I'm glad we worked together to recreate Marcus's house. At that point, he'll be used to being down there. We'll be able to finally go back to reality. And Marcus, if you are reading this, I wish the best of luck for you and your little friend you tried to hide from me. Sincerely, the author. Using a tool such as MultiMC, we can easily load this world into an instance of Minecraft Alpha 1.0.11 and explore. It quickly becomes clear that this save file is from about the time when the anomaly video was submitted. However, as we search, we notice that there are several subtle differences, which tell us that this world is at least slightly newer than what we've seen. First, there are several iron door traps just outside the house. These will trap whoever or whatever steps on the pressure plate in the center. They're presumably designed to catch one of the void beings, or perhaps Star. We can take this opportunity to get a better look at the structure that has appeared. It's a giant hollow rectangular prism made of bedrock. On the top are several rows of blocks with torches on them. Most are also made of bedrock, although a few are made of dirt. A little ways away, there's a floating structure with pressure plates above an icy lake, an area that is yet to be seen in the videos. Things get more interesting when we go underground. In the mine, we can see that Marcus has sealed up the entrance to the pressure-plated iron door. Now that we have the save file, we can see what lies beyond. It's a hallway of 30 iron doors and pressure plates. Unfortunately, there's nothing at the end but a sealed lava pool. The other side is more interesting. We can finally enter one of the rows of iron doors. We find a dark cave with exposed bedrock. There are a couple of holes in the ground leading to the void beneath. On the opposite side of the cave is a cobblestone wall. Behind it, there's a really odd room. Glass has covered up the bedrock ground, and the walls are made of bricks. In the back of the room is a facade of a wooden house embedded into the wall. There's a chest that contains several items in a strange configuration. The purpose of this area is far from obvious. However, we do know that this room was created after the observations video. Bricks were not craftable until Alpha 1.0.11, meaning that this wouldn't have existed in version 7 videos. There's something else of note. Mark's world contains a cave system that is accessible from an entrance near the icy lake. Following this cave leads to a vertical drop to another room with bedrock exposed. There's a crafting table as well as a furnace. We have not seen this room before, and unfortunately, it will never make another appearance. It remains a mystery to this day. The final elements of note in Mark's world are a few new signs, one in the house and one on the ice lake. Both of these link to unlisted YouTube videos. The sign in the house connects to a video called Third World. We see Marcus descend into the mine and seal the iron door on the right side, telling us that this video is from before the world save. Next, he crafts a full set of diamond armor. Then he enters an iron door on the left side, which leads to the bedrock cave and the strange house that we just discovered. But we don't learn much about this place. Marcus walks around and then leaves. The second sign leads to a video called Outside the Skybox Lies the Ultimate Truth of the... It's a short little video showing the tentacled moon with the red dot. And then there's a public video called Unused 3. This one must have been recorded much later, as it takes place in Minecraft Alpha 1.2.5, released on December 1st, 2010. But this video may not be Marcus. If it is, then it's recorded on a different world from the ones we've seen so far. Whoever it is, they head out into the night and see a void being out in the distance. Suddenly, they disappear. The player returns to their house to an increasing cacophony of sounds before seeing a void creature slide out of the wall. It's here that the story takes a turn. To this point, we've been seeing things from mostly Mark's perspective. An increasing number of anomalies are afflicting his world, and he responds with attempts to investigate and figure out what's going on. But all of that changes with the next video. In Demo 01, we are suddenly no longer with Marcus, and we enter the second phase of the Mark 101 story.
Admin space.
The video opens with a bizarre message. The skybox is a shield. Then it drops us into a world totally unlike the one we've been seeing thus far. The textures are dramatically altered compared to normal Minecraft. The palette is mostly monochrome, save for the occasional purple highlight. Chests look different, as well as the UI. The toolbar has been replaced by a page and check and X icons. There's another major difference, the version. Up on the top left, we see that this is labeled Minecraft VoidExp version 0.0.1. Furthermore, the skin is different from Mark's skin. Suffice to say, we have found ourselves in a totally new place. But where? The video shows the character wandering through a location with many hallways. As we watch, we notice that there are several titles that say Void Error on them. There are also some blocks that appear to be covered by a bluish substance. Then there is a section of a wooden house, in stark contrast to the rest of the area. This too has a bluish tint. The person recording does not appear to be totally confident. They walk in a winding pattern, turning around frequently. At one point, they stop right up against the wall and move the camera as if they are seeing something. Then they open up a chest and pull out a page similar to the one in their inventory. They open it, and we can see that it's a book that has several variations of Mark 101, followed by Marcus several times. The player turns the page and signs the book, and we learn that this video is from Star's perspective. A curious development. Star returns the book to the chest and walks back to the initial room. They stand on the central tile, and the video fades away with yet another bluish tint. During the final few frames, we get a glimpse of Star's skin, the player who has appeared and talked to Marcus. If Marcus does not believe that Star is from this world, the video we just saw certainly adds credence to that idea. Star is not even in the same version of Minecraft, but what exactly is he doing? The following video is called Demo 02. It starts with another shrouded message. Shields may be durable. It appears to take place in the same location as the previous video. However, someone new is recording, as evidenced by the white skin. The video begins in the same central room as last time. As the player walks, we notice a few changes. First, a reddish substance is now present on some of the walls, replacing the blue version. This substance appears as though it may be related to the reddish obsidian that Marcus saw in his world. The player stumbles across a wall with a mysterious painting on it. It appears to show a night sky with a half moon in the center. On the four corners are several symbols: a star, an X, a clump of red dots, and a checkerboard texture barely visible. The player returns to the main hallway and opens the chest containing the book written by Star. They read it briefly before throwing it into an adjacent dark pit. Then they open the book in their inventory. It seems similar at first to Star's book, but there's an additional note. If you see any repeating patterns, report them, from somebody named Psy. The following page asks if there should be a report, and the player types Y for yes. When they go to sign the book, our suspicions are confirmed. This is indeed a different player than Star. Their name is X instead. Interestingly, we've seen both a star and an X on the painting from earlier. Is there some connection between these two players? X returns the book to the chest and walks to the central room once more. As they stand on the center tile, we get a shot of the head of their skin. It contains a single X. The next video is called Orders. It appears to be recorded by X again, and they start in the central room. They have another book in their inventory. It's a note written to them. Apparently, a malfunction is causing the void errors that we've seen on the walls, and this book contains instructions to remove them. X should go to the terminal room and type the command level.void.expunge. This will only work on the main terminal. It takes X a while to figure out where to go. During their searching, we see that this area is bigger than we initially realized. There's a seemingly endless supply of hallways and walls. Eventually, they locate the stairs and enter the terminal room, a cavernous place with a huge white dome on top. We see that X has the ability to fly. Are they perhaps an admin on this server? X finds the appropriate terminal, runs the command, and the video ends. If you were paying attention back in Demo 02, you may have noticed that one of the pages contained a sequence of letters and numbers. This is a YouTube link. If we type in youtube.com/watch?v=, we are led to an unlisted video. It's called Void Exp, the same name of the strange new Minecraft version. In this video, Marcus begins within his house, but soon exits and walks around outside. Then there's a loud noise, and we see our third shadowy title. However, shields can be broken. Marcus finds himself in the Void Exp world. His confusion is evident. He explores but is unable to find his way out of the hallway. The next video posted on Mark's channel continues in Void Exp. X is there to greet Marcus. Unsurprisingly, X tells Marcus that he's not supposed to be here. Then he asks to follow him. When they reach a dark hallway, X reassures Marcus and they continue. Soon, they reach the outside. X tells Marcus that he's caused more trouble than he thinks. Then the video freezes. Suddenly, it returns with glitchy sound. We see that Star is standing up on a ledge as well as a void being. Something is clearly wrong. We discover that Sai is in the area. Sai says that they are here and is clearly upset. He asks why the devs didn't stay for this sky before commanding X to get them here. In the background, we see a second void being rising behind X. As X tells Marcus that this is not his matter, the being sneaks up behind him and the video cuts. There's a dark shot of a room full of void beings right before the end of the video. The title of this video is V= and then several numbers and letters, a connection to another YouTube video. But this one is not on the Mark 101 channel. Instead, it's on a channel called Sai. We just saw Sai in the previous video. Now we have a channel that gives some footage from their perspective. The video is entitled Investigating a Breach in Sky 4 Sector 1. This gives us a name for the tiled area that we've seen in the past few videos. This video appears to show the aftermath of the breach. Sai is with two new players called D1 and D2. Their skins as well as Sai's commentary tell us that they are developers. Sai says that another breach event has occurred, leading to the wall becoming partially cracked. They mention that, according to X, there were 5 entities present, including Mark 101, X, Star, Subjugate, and Integrity. We've seen the first 3 before, but this is the first we've heard of Subjugate and Integrity. The only things these could logically be are the Void Beings. They're the only other 2 entities that we see during the breach event. Sai finds a book written by Star and reads a few pages. So far our plan has been working well. The developer routines have been normal as well. I'll have to wait until the exact time a player with a weak world can come into this sector. Most likely it will be J-Star or Marcus. After that, if a developer tries to teleport them back to their world, we time the teleport exactly so that we can let others into his world. After that, we will spread out and begin our new life. This appears to be what happened during the breach event. Marcus was teleported into the Sky 4 sector because of a weak world, whatever that means. Then, when X tried to teleport Marcus back into his own world, Star came in and breached him. While we don't know for sure, the way it's written seems to imply that the Void Beings are associated with Star. He says that we will spread out and begin our new life. And if we think for a moment, this does make sense. In Mark's world, the Void Beings and Star both showed up around a similar time. But now, these beings have found their way into the mysterious Sky 4 sector. This is why the developers are so concerned. Star, the Void Beings, and Marcus for that matter should not be here. It appears as though Marcus has been caught up in the plans of Star, no more than a pawn in some much greater game. This may also explain why both Sky 4 sector and Marcus's world have had blocks that are clearly out of place magically show up. The void errors and the reddish taint in the Sky 4 sector mark a stark contrast to the sterility of the rest of the design. Yet, much like Marcus, we still don't have any understanding of what the Sky 4 sector is. It's a totally new place on a totally new version into which we've both been thrown headfirst. There's another video. This one is entitled Recovered Footage. While it is found on Sai's channel, it appears to instead have been recorded by Marcus. The video is very low quality, with several sections of footage missing. In the chat, a player named Spyro the Builder 10 rages against a triangle head using quite the colorful language. Marcus exits a house and sees it out in the distance. As it approaches, the video
Yeah, very
becomes
colorful language indeed. Yeah,
increasingly
agreed.
choppy. Then, in the final frame, we get our
Get
first close-up
it.
view.
No,
of the
no,
Void Being.
no, no,
While it
no,
looks a little
no.
bit different than some of the earlier
Nah,
anomalies,
help
this is
me,
clearly
help
the
me.
same being seen alongside Star in the Sky Force sector.
You have to keep it on
Its name
screen,
is
please. I
Integrity,
don't like
the
it.
name given by Psy to the Void Being on the roof. It's unclear if this name refers to an individual being or a type
I
of
don't
being.
like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Now
I
we
don't
return to the
like
Mark
it. I don't like
101
it.
channel. The
Thank
next
you.
video is called Revolt, and it's split into two halves. The first half appears to be preparation. We are currently on Minecraft Alpha 1.2.3, which tells us that this video takes place after November 10th, 2010. Marcus equips himself with diamond armor and heads into the mine. He enters one of the left iron doors and approaches the underground structure with the wood and glass. He takes some blocks from a chest and
You know, guys, I'm gonna pause it here, and I'm gonna continue doing this. And tomorrow.